Darlings, maybe some of you are in a dry season in your life. And what do I mean by dry season? By dry season, I mean like you are trying to do your best. Like you go to church, you talk to God, but still you feel like you have no answer to all of your questions or no answer to the problem that you have. But then you have to remind yourself, like if you plant seeds today, then you will not reap from them tomorrow. So the best thing to do is just keep doing what you are doing. Keep going to church. Keep talking to God. Just give God your heart, and if you give God your heart, then actually you are giving God also all your problems, all the things that all your worries, all your fears. So if you give them actually to God, then they are not yours anymore. So daily remind, if you don't know what to do, and if you still feel anxious after you prayed, after you've been to church, you just say to yourself, you know what? I think it's time to give my heart to God. I always do this. Like sometimes I'm even on my bike and I feel a little bit anxious, or I feel worried, or after a problem that I prayed over, and I talk to God, but still I just don't know what to do. And I just say to myself, Christina, I think it's time to give your heart to God. So if you give your heart to God, once again, you will give everything to God, what is in your heart. So then it's not yours anymore. And I also say to God, God, I prayed about it, I asked your advice, I asked your opinion, but still I didn't hear from you. So I'm going to enjoy my life, I'm going to enjoy my day, I'm going to stay peaceful, I'm going to stay joyful, because God, I know you are working behind the scenes for me. So it's time today to give also your heart to God, and just know that if you give your heart to God, then He will make from your ashes, He will make beauty from your ashes. That's what I want to try to say. So don't give up, keep praying, keep trusting God, and in the right time, God will reveal everything. He will reveal why He did this or why He didn't do this, because God is a good God, and He always wants the best from you. So if you are in a dry season and you think you don't hear from God, or you don't see any change in your life, then you have to know the changes are happening behind the scenes. Like God is working for you behind the scenes, because God gave His promise to us. He said, like, you are my children, and as a good father, He wants to take care of His children, but He also wants the best for His children, because God knows your heart, and God knows like what will happen like next year or the next 10 years in your life. So He knows exactly what you need, because we as human, we are very simple. Like we usually think about now or the next week, but God has a long time vision for your life. So don't be troubled, don't be worried if you see like your life is not changing, and the life of the people around you is changing, and you just feel like you are standing still. But darling, with God you can never stand still, never, because He is a God of action. He is a God of leading you. He always wants to lead us. He always wants to lead us to the light. So if we walk with God, if we live for God, then we can never stand still. But sometimes it feels like we are standing still and nothing is happening around us, nothing. And we see like people like maybe on social media, or the friends or family members we see like things are happening in their life, and then sometimes you maybe think like God maybe has forgotten about me, or maybe sometimes I thought by myself like I think that God has forgotten like where I live. Like I need to tell Him like, God, this is my name, this is my address, please come to visit my home, because I need your direction, because I cannot do it alone. And I think that's the only thing what God wants. He wants us to admit like, God, I cannot do it alone, because God, without you is very boring, and because God's plans are always better than our plans. Like sometimes we want something, but then in the end, we see that God's plan was so much better than our plan. So I don't know for who this is, but I hope this can encourage you. Know that I'm praying for you, and don't give up. We can do this all together. We keep praying, we keep hoping, we keep going to church, and then we give our hearts to God, and God will give us a new heart back.